Listen closely. This message arrives quietly, yet it shakes the soul. God is not angry. God is weeping. And this calling reaches the chosen ones, those who feel a deeper pull within their chest. I speak to you as Shi Heng Yi, trained in discipline, silence, and inner truth. This moment reveals a sacred warning often missed amid noise and comfort. Within this transmission, you will uncover why sorrow, restlessness, and sudden resistance appear along your path, and how these signals protect rather than punish. You will learn how divine guidance speaks through stillness, patterns, and inner pressure, and why resistance to that guidance slowly drains inner strength. Stay until the final moments, because the closing insight unlocks a simple return to balance that restores clarity, courage, and peace. Many teachings speak of power and blessing, yet few acknowledge divine grief. This grief rises from love, from watching awakened souls drift from alignment. Subtle signs repeat, pathways close, familiar ground feels uneasy, and the heart grows heavy without a clear cause. These signals carry meaning. Ignoring them delays purpose and multiplies exhaustion. Understanding them restores direction. This awareness matters now because timing shapes destiny, and delay costs more than effort. This space offers calm truth without fear, without noise, without pressure. Insight flows through simplicity, breadth, and awareness. Remain present, absorb each word, and allow understanding to settle deeply. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow, a place for discipline of mind, strength of spirit, and gentle awakening. Subscribe to walk this path together and remain for the full message, because the final revelation brings the quiet correction your soul has awaited. Pause for a moment. The truth about chosen ones rarely matches the fantasy built around them. Chosen ones are not flawless, not untouched by struggle, not elevated above pain. They are the ones who carry weight quietly, the ones who feel deeply even when they wish they could feel less. Sensitivity is not weakness here, it is the mark. Chosen ones walk through life with an open inner world. Sounds reach them differently. Words linger longer. Emotions stay in the body instead of passing through. While others move on quickly, chosen ones reflect, question, and absorb. This depth often feels like a burden, especially in a world that rewards speed and surface-level strength. These souls grow up feeling out of place. Crowds exhaust them. Noise drains them. They sense shifts in energy before events unfold. Joy touches them intensely, but so does sorrow. Pain in others feels personal, as though boundaries dissolve without permission. This is why many chosen ones retreat into silence, creativity, or solitude, without understanding why. Spiritual awareness awakens early or arrives suddenly through hardship. Loss, betrayal, isolation, or deep disappointment often serve as the doorway. Through pressure, perception sharpens. Through struggle, awareness expands. This is not punishment. This is refinement. Chosen ones carry an inner compass that reacts strongly when alignment fades. When they ignore that signal, the body tightens, the mind clouds, the heart grows heavy. Not because they are failing, but because their spirit refuses numbness. Comfort dulls them. Truth awakens them. Others may misunderstand this sensitivity as weakness, emotionality, or instability. Yet this very depth allows chosen ones to perceive layers others miss. They feel more because they are designed to see more. Their burden is also their preparation. Their sensitivity is the doorway to wisdom still unfolding. Listen carefully. Divine tears do not fall from weakness. They rise from love that sees too far ahead. God weeps because awareness is present, yet attention has drifted. The warnings were gentle at first. A feeling that something was off. A pause before a decision. A quiet resistance in the heart. These moments were meant to guide, not restrict. Love warns before pain arrives. Love redirects before damage settles. Yet many signs were dismissed as fear, doubt, or coincidence. The inner signal was silenced with logic. The discomfort was covered with distraction. Over time, sensitivity dulled, not because guidance faded, but because listening stopped. God weeps because his children are moving further from alignment while believing they are moving forward. Progress without purpose looks successful on the surface, yet the soul grows tired underneath. Noise replaced stillness. Achievement replaced meaning. Motion replaced direction. The drift rarely happens suddenly. It begins with small compromises. A skipped moment of reflection. A delayed return to prayer. A choice made for comfort rather than truth. Each step feels harmless. Together they lead far from center. Warnings intensify when softness fails. Repeated obstacles appear. Relationships strain. Motivation fades without explanation. The heart grows restless even during success. These are not punishments. They are alarms powered by care. God weeps because timing matters. Certain paths require presence now, not later. Certain lessons must be learned before the next door opens. Delay costs energy. Resistance multiplies effort. Still, love continues to call. Even ignored, guidance remains active. Even resisted, protection stays near. Divine grief carries patience, not abandonment. It waits for awareness to return, for stillness to be chosen again. The signs you feel today are echoes of earlier whispers, now speaking with more weight. Not to frighten, to awaken, to bring attention back to the quiet place where alignment begins and strength is restored. Notice the patterns. Divine guidance rarely announces itself with force. It repeats softly, trusting awareness to recognize rhythm. The same lesson appears through different moments. The same message returns through different forms. A plan falls apart more than once. A path refuses to open despite effort. These repetitions are not bad luck. They are redirection. Closed doors carry meaning. Opportunities that vanish at the last moment. Connections that dissolve without clear reason. Delays that feel frustrating and unnecessary. Each closure protects from misalignment. Each pause prevents a step taken too early or in the wrong direction. Pushing harder against resistance drains energy meant for another path. Restlessness becomes the next signal. Sleep grows shallow. Silence feels heavy. The mind stays active even during rest. Comfort loses its warmth. This unease does not come from lack. It comes from knowing something essential is being avoided. The body speaks when the mind refuses to listen. Sudden discomfort in familiar places often surprises. A job once enjoyed now feels empty. A routine once calming now feels suffocating. Conversations that used to energize now drain. This shift confuses many. They try to recreate old feelings instead of recognizing growth, demanding change. Sensitivity heightens before transition. The heart reacts faster. The stomach tightens sooner. The chest grows heavy without explanation. These sensations act as internal boundaries. They mark where alignment ends and resistance begins. Ignoring these signals creates pressure. Repetition turns into intensity. Subtle becomes loud. The lesson remains the same, only the volume increases. This escalation does not come from impatience. It comes from care that refuses to abandon. Divine guidance always aims to preserve clarity, not comfort. Growth rarely feels familiar. The unknown often feels safer than staying where the soul has already completed its work. Every sign points forward, even when it feels like loss. There is a voice that never shouts. It does not argue or compete for attention. It waits. This is how God often speaks, through a gentle knowing that rises without words, through intuition that appears before logic forms, through a quiet pull that asks for trust rather than proof. This voice has guided you before. In moments when a decision felt clear without explanation, in times when stepping away felt right even though it made no sense. Yet over time the mind learned to question it. Fear labeled it uncertainty. Discomfort was mistaken for weakness. Slowly the volume lowered not because the voice faded but because attention turned elsewhere. Unease is another language of guidance, a tight chest, a heavy stomach, a sense of resistance without a visible cause. These signals surface when alignment is slipping, the body reacts before the mind understands. Many dismiss this as anxiety, yet anxiety drains. Guidance directs. Silence reveals this voice most clearly. Stillness allows truth to rise. Yet silence is often avoided. Noise fills every gap. Screens, conversations, movement, constant input. Anything to prevent sitting with what might surface. Avoidance keeps discomfort away temporarily. yet it also blocks clarity. In quiet moments, memories return. Unfinished thoughts resurface. Questions long postponed ask for answers. This is not punishment. This is honesty emerging. The inner voice uses these spaces to realign direction, to correct course gently. Ignoring this guidance leads to confusion. Overthinking increases. Decisions feel heavy. Direction blurs. Effort multiplies while progress slows. The mind tries to control what the soul already understands. Listening requires courage. It demands presence without distraction. It asks for trust before certainty. Yet within that soft guidance rests the clearest direction, not toward ease, but toward truth. Not toward comfort, but toward alignment that restores strength and inner peace. Distraction rarely arrives as chaos. It arrives as comfort. Noise fills the space where guidance once lived. Constant input leaves no room for reflection. The mind stays occupied, yet the soul grows neglected. Attention becomes fragmented, pulled outward instead of inward. Fear strengthens this pull. Fear of falling behind, fear of being misunderstood, fear of choosing the wrong path. These fears keep the mind busy calculating outcomes instead of listening for direction. Guidance does not shout over fear, it waits for quiet. Worldly pressure rewards visibility, speed, and achievement. Silence appears unproductive. Stillness seems like delay. Obedience feels risky when results are not immediate. Gradually, comfort replaces obedience. Choices aim to preserve ease rather than truth. Familiar routines feel safer than unknown growth. Busyness becomes the perfect shield. Full schedules prevent inner questioning. Constant motion avoids confronting deeper longing. Activity gives the illusion of progress while purpose remains untouched. Prayer fades not from disbelief, but from lack of space. Connection requires presence, and presence demands pause. The more crowded life becomes, the harder guidance feels to access. Signs are missed, intuition weakens, direction blurs. The soul sends discomfort as a reminder, yet distraction dulls its message. Restlessness grows while meaning shrinks. Calling does not disappear. It waits patiently beneath the noise. It surfaces in moments of exhaustion when achievement no longer satisfies. It whispers during pauses that feel uncomfortable. It stirs during nights when sleep avoids you. Distraction offers relief without fulfillment. Comfort soothes temporarily, but leaves emptiness untouched. Obedience asks more, yet it restores alignment. Returning to stillness clears the noise. Reducing excess creates space. Within that space, guidance resumes naturally. The pull you feel towards something deeper is not weakness. It is remembrance, a quiet return to what matters. Attention shapes destiny. Where attention rests, direction follows. That weight you feel is recognition. Truth carries a distinct gravity. It settles deep, not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. When a message speaks directly to the soul, it feels personal because it is. Chosen ones respond before the mind can analyze. The body reacts first. The breath changes. The chest tightens. The eyes soften. This response is memory awakening. The soul holds knowledge long before language forms. It remembers alignment. It remembers direction. It remembers promises made beyond time and circumstance. The mind, shaped by fear and habit, forgets. It adapts. It compromises. It learns to survive rather than to follow truth. When remembrance returns, it brings emotion with it. This is why clarity often arrives with heaviness. Awareness exposes distance from center, not to shame but to reveal. The discomfort signals readiness, readiness to realign, readiness to release what no longer fits, readiness to listen again. Chosen ones sense truth immediately. They do not need persuasion. Explanation follows recognition, not the other way around. This sensitivity once felt overwhelming. Now it becomes guidance. What once felt like a burden reveals itself as precision. The heaviness also comes from timing. Certain truths arrive only when the soul is prepared to act. Earlier, the message would have been ignored or misunderstood. Now it lands because awareness has matured through experience. Loss, effort, patience, and reflection sharpen perception. Resistance may appear alongside recognition. Fear tries to protect comfort. Habit tries to maintain control. Yet beneath resistance lies certainty, a calm knowing that does not argue. This moment invites honesty, not with the world, but with yourself. The heart already understands. The soul already agrees. Only the mind remains hesitant. As awareness deepens, that hesitation softens and alignment begins to feel possible again. Ignoring guidance does not bring sudden collapse. The cost reveals itself slowly, quietly over time. Purpose does not disappear, yet it waits. Momentum weakens, direction blurs, life continues, but something essential feels postponed. This delay creates a subtle tension, a sense of living beside one's path rather than on it. Repeated cycles begin to form. The same lessons appear through different situations. Similar conflicts arise with new faces. The environment changes, yet the feeling remains familiar. Growth pauses until awareness returns. These cycles are not punishment. They are invitations repeated with patience. Spiritual exhaustion follows. Effort increases while fulfillment decreases. Rest no longer restores. Achievement feels hollow. Motivation fades without a clear reason. The soul grows tired from carrying unexpressed truth. Suppressed alignment drains energy more than action ever could. This exhaustion often confuses the mind. It searches for external fixes, more productivity, more distraction, more control. Yet the fatigue originates deeper. It comes from moving against inner direction, from silencing intuition, from postponing necessary change. Gentle signs escalate when ignored. Discomfort becomes persistent. Joy feels distant. Presence feels forced. The heart grows heavy, not from sadness, but from misalignment. Even success loses its sweetness when it arrives without purpose. Still, guidance remains kind. There is no urgency rooted in fear, only clarity waiting to be chosen. Returning does not require undoing everything. It requires acknowledgement, a pause, a willingness to listen again. Every moment of awareness reduces the cost. Every act of honesty restores energy. Purpose resumes when alignment returns. Cycles break when lessons are accepted. Spiritual strength renews itself naturally once resistance softens. The warning exists not to threaten loss, but to preserve vitality, to protect the spirit from unnecessary fatigue, to guide back toward a path where effort and meaning move together, and where inner peace no longer feels distant. Even now, mercy reaches toward you. It does not wait for perfection. It does not demand immediate obedience. It flows quietly, patiently, like a river, bending around obstacles, yet never ceasing. God has not abandoned you, even when life feels heavy, even when guidance feels distant. The fact that this message finds you now is proof of that mercy. It is proof that care persists, that love watches, and that alignment remains possible. Every gentle nudge, every inner warning, every sign repeated through your life is part of that reaching hand. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is accidental. Even moments of struggle carry intention. Even hesitation holds potential. Mercy exists not to excuse but to restore. It invites return without judgment, offering space to breathe, to see, to listen. Awareness itself is a form of grace. The heaviness in your chest, the tugging in your heart, the restlessness that cannot be ignored, these are all expressions of mercy. They awaken remembrance, they stir recognition, they remind you that the soul's alignment matters more than comfort. Each signal is a call to remember your true path, a call to reclaim the clarity you already possess within. Even amidst confusion, mercy creates openings. Doors appear where there seem to be none. Paths unfold when attention shifts. Inner strength resurfaces when stillness is chosen. Nothing in this process is rushed, yet everything is purposeful. The soul responds when trust returns, when distraction falls away, and when openness allows guidance to enter. This message, arriving in this moment, is part of that divine reach. It is a whisper that your spirit is seen, that your struggle is acknowledged, and that the love guiding you has never left. Mercy surrounds the path. Even if the journey feels uncertain, every step taken in awareness, Every pause to listen, every act of returning is a step deeper into the embrace of guidance that never tires, a love that never withdraws, and a path that has always been waiting for you. Right now, nothing extraordinary is required. Not perfection, not fear. God asks only for stillness. A pause in motion, a quieting of the mind, a letting go of constant distraction. This stillness is not empty, it is receptive. It opens space for what has been present all along but ignored. Listening follows stillness. It is not about hearing with ears, but with the heart. The subtle voice that once felt faint becomes clearer when attention is given. Intuition, unease, inner nudges, they are all part of the guidance already surrounding you. Listening does not demand answers immediately. It only asks presence. It asks honesty with yourself, a willingness to acknowledge what the soul already knows. Returning is the final movement. It is not a race. It is not a performance. It is a gentle realignment. Returning to prayer, reflection, or connection restores clarity. Returning to awareness, to the quiet voice, to the inner compass, reestablishes balance. Each act of return reduces weight and restores energy. Every step, however small, signals readiness. You do not need to fix everything at once. You do not need to prove anything. The path forward opens simply through attention and alignment. The heart remembers, the soul recognizes, and guidance re-enters naturally. Small moments of stillness compound into clarity. Brief acts of listening restore direction. Each return strengthens presence. Resistance may appear. Habit may whisper to continue distraction. The world may pull insistently toward noise. Yet every time stillness is chosen, listening is honored, and return is practiced, the inner voice grows louder. The path becomes visible. The heart feels lighter. Energy flows where it was once blocked. This is all God asks for. Now a pause. An awareness. A willingness to realign, not perfection, not force, just presence, openness, and the quiet courage to step back into guidance that has never left. The moment you choose stillness, the power begins to return. Clarity rises first, like mist lifting from a quiet morning. Confusion softens. Decisions that once felt heavy become simple. The path that seemed obscured reveals itself. Every step gains purpose, because the soul's compass regains trust in its own knowing. Peace follows clarity. It does not arrive as noise-free ease, but as a deep internal calm that steadies the heart. The restlessness that once gnawed quietly at the chest softens. Tension dissolves. Even in the midst of life's challenges, a sense of centeredness emerges, carrying the assurance that guidance is near and direction is true. Direction itself becomes tangible. You begin to sense where energy should flow. Actions that once felt forced now feel aligned. Opportunities present themselves with subtle ease. Moments of hesitation shrink because the soul is listening again. Movement feels natural, not contrived, and choices resonate with purpose rather than obligation. Strength flows in parallel. Energy once wasted on resistance and distraction returns to its source. The mind sharpens. Focus deepens. Willpower no longer struggles against inertia because it moves with, rather than against, alignment. The body responds as well, carrying renewed vitality, a reflection of the soul's restored clarity. Life begins to align externally as it does internally. Relationships, decisions, and environments shift subtly to reflect the inner recalibration. Challenges appear less chaotic because the internal compass guides through them. The rhythm of existence synchronizes with intention. Each day gains momentum, but now it is meaningful momentum, guided by awareness rather than mere habit. This power, this flow, does not vanish once obtained. It strengthens with practice, with attention, and with continued listening. Each act of obedience, each return to stillness, reinforces the current of clarity, peace, and alignment, creating a life that no longer feels fractured, but whole, guided, and deeply energized. This is not condemnation. It is not judgment. It is love calling you home. A gentle reminder that your soul has never been abandoned. Every sign, every whisper, every moment of discomfort has been an invitation to return to alignment, to clarity, and to the peace that is your birthright. Take this message into your heart. Let stillness guide you. Let listening restore your strength. Let your spirit remember the path it has always known. The guidance has never left. You only need to open yourself to receive it. If this message touched you, support this journey by liking the video and subscribing to Shaolin Divine Flow. Walk this path with us where awareness awakens and the soul is honored. Remember always, the quiet voice within is not asking for perfection, only presence. The moment you listen, the moment you return, you step into the power, peace, and alignment you are always meant to experience.